The largest ozone hole ever recorded over North Pole has finally, quote-unquote, healed itself and closed. Thank goodness. COVID-19 and the associated lockdowns probably had nothing to do with this, so. The massive ozone hole that formed over the North Pole has finally closed, scientists announced. Researchers from the European Union's Copernicus Atmospheric Monitoring Service, CAMS for short, who were tracking the record-breaking ozone hole over the Arctic, tweeted last Thursday, the unprecedented 2020 Northern Hemisphere ozone hole has come to an end. The hole, which was the single largest such ozone hole ever detected in the Arctic, first opened in late March as unusual wind conditions trapped frigid air over the North Pole for several consecutive weeks. But scientists took pains to point out that the closing of the hole has nothing to do with drop in emissions recorded across the world as a result of lockdown measures meant to curb the coronavirus. On Twitter, the group said, COVID-19 and the associated lockdowns probably had nothing to do with this. It's been driven by an unusually strong, long-lived polar vortex, and it's not related to air quality changes, they said. Live Science reports that a polar vortex is comprised of powerful winds that create a circular cage of cold air that leads to the formation of high-altitude clouds in the region. The clouds mixed with harmful human-made chemicals such as chlorine and bromine, which migrated into the stratosphere and accumulated inside the vortex. The chemicals then ate away at surrounding gases, thinning the ozone layer and forming a huge hole approximately 3 times the size of Greenland in the atmosphere, according to the European Space Agency statement. The ozone layer is the layer in the Earth's stratosphere that's responsible for absorbing the ultraviolet rays of the sun, effectively filtering out radiation that causes skin cancer among humans, destroys crops, and disrupts marine ecosystems, among other devastating effects on the planet. And the ozone layer has faced decades of degradation thanks to the use of harmful chemical compounds such as chlorofluorocarbons, halogens, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, and other organic and synthetic human-made ozone-depleting compounds that are commonly used in refrigerators, aerosols, and a range of industrial processes. The startling decline of the ozone layer became such a dire matter of concern that in 1987, governments agreed to the Montreal Protocol, an international treaty meant to phase out the production and use of ozone-depleting chemicals. But ozone holes have continued to form annually in the Antarctic due to failure to sufficiently check the amount of human-made chemicals that continue to make their way into the stratosphere. Scientists believe that this will remain a seasonal phenomenon in the future. In October, the ozone hole shrank to its smallest size ever, recorded mainly due to the unusually hot climate conditions above Antarctica caused by global warming. In the Arctic, in the north that is, polar vortexes tend to be far weaker, which means that the conditions which eat away at ozone gases are not typically found, hence the unprecedented nature of this ozone hole. According to a 2018 study by the World Meteorological Organization, the southern ozone hole has been shrinking at a rate of 1% to 3% every 10 years since 2000, meaning that it won't heal entirely until about the year 2050. And credit is also due to the Montreal Protocol for the apparent healing of this ozone layer. This by Elias Marat, Mind Unleashed, and it's on Collective Spark by Steve McCamley. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.